To all who have come from the other stream, welcome back. And to all who have just joined me on here, welcome everyone to Real Conversations going on. So soon I should be joined by some panel guests, which some of them will be also people who run the channel, because there's a few of us who have the password to the channel. So I'm gonna tweet this out, and I'm gonna send some links out if anyone wants to join. So it's open discussion, chat participation if possible. So if you've got any topic that you want to be brought up, then by all means, let's hear what you got to say. Put it to Facebook now. Right. So how are you doing, Chris Hayes? How are you doing, Flat Stillwater again? Yeah. I'll be right back. I'll finish up here at work. All right. I'll chat to you in a bit then, if you're about. Yeah, so let me just sort the link out. If I can just send it to the people on the email, that'll probably be the easiest way. So if I just copy the link and put it in the group chat. Right. Hang on. Right. That's sorted. So if anyone else would like a link, then send it to JB Magic. Oh no, sorry, that's the other. Well, that's the one that I have, but this is our shared one. This is real conversations going on at gmail.com. Yeah, Flat Earth to Water, but I don't really like the labels because, like, I kind of like. I think that there's certain instances where I think it could be appropriate to like eat animal products. Say, for instance, it's like a, I don't know, say, like an animal that's died anyway. Like if the animal either it's roadkill or it's died of natural causes or something, you know, then it's like, well, I don't see it wrong with doing that. I wouldn't do it myself, but I'm like, if I it's like most people wouldn't agree with doing that in the whole vegan thing. So but I don't know. So I don't want to get pinned down to any kind of labels. I mean, because I don't even think it's even possible to be fully vegan. Like, as in, like, you do. I mean, you can be fully vegan, but as in, like, in the, but like, there's this whole carbon cycle, yeah. Like, everything will have come from an animal at some point, because animals will breathe out the carbon, and then the plants will take that in, and then so it's like, what does this whole vegan thing even mean anyway? So I don't know, but if you mean as in I don't eat like meat, dairy, any of that sort of stuff, um, eggs, I don't eat that anymore. I know, like, you was doing that at the time, but I don't know what you're up to nowadays. But um, you can catch organic flies with a glass of urine. Just leave it next to your window for a while. Double lemon, double yummy. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Not for me, but I'm not sure. Like, with insects, maybe you could say, well, like, they seem to be so, like, on a different level in terms of, like, like, it's something that it's like harder to connect to. It's like you can probably connect more to, like, say, a dog or a cat or even like a sheep, pig, cow, stuff like that. Because they're not as far removed from our species. So, because I think it was something that we were talking about before, Mick, that he thinks it's all right saying, like, insects, like bugs and stuff. Fair enough. I don't feel the need to eat them though, but maybe in a survival situation, like if you needed to, there was no else available. But you'd probably find some anyway. I mean, apparently, like, apes, like, they only eat like 3% meat, so they're um, kind of eating other stuff for like 97% of their diet. All right. I mean, yeah, cool. I'll have you on then, Mick. I'll just get it out to you. I'll have to. Right. Right. All right. There you go, Mick. You've got a link. Hopefully the other guests will. All right. So Lee's going to be on soon. So I don't know about Tom, as he's probably won't be coming on, um, but yeah. Anyway, I'll just just turn the volume up. I'm just waiting for. Oh, hang on.
All right, Jimmy.
Oh, all right.
Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I wonder what happened there.
Just hang on. I need to just.
Hi, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all right, thanks.
So how long have you been available?
But I was going to say we haven't spoke for a while.
Yeah. Well, we talked, I think, I was on one of your hangouts, one of your last ones, wasn't I? I think. Just briefly.
Well, you was talking about like the inverted like cellular Earth or whatever, it's concave Earth. I mean, yeah, that's the last thing I remember us talking about.
Yeah, that was it. That was the one. The Irish guy.
What, Pete, are you on about?
No, not Pete. There's another like a totem pole thing as a avatar.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're on about. Yeah, I've not seen him for a while. But yeah.
That many people abandon you since it's not all about flat Earth anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like, it might be because like I've changed my stance somewhat. I think that, like, you have to kind of be sure about it and everything, and and if you're gonna like say stuff that kind of maybe counters it in a way, then they're not gonna want it to do with you anymore. And that's kind of fine. I think that's the reason I kind of set the new channel up, because I just wanted to like distance myself from that old one where you get all these like toxic people and stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't have toxic traits or whatever, but like,
but it's like if you don't agree,
I just
turn on you sort of thing. It's like it's about the opinion rather than you.
yeah, I think that's the kind of message that I kind of got from these people that that used to be regulars on there. I mean, I'm not even going to name names because it's not even relevant. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, I mean, maybe I kind of maybe was being a bit negative, like saying that I felt like it was like it had traits of like a cult, like because there's like what like whether like people would admit to it or not, that they do have leaders.
It's kind of like I kind of like it's the kettle calling a teapot black. Do you know what I mean? It is a religion, and they call other people religions, and they are biased, and they call everybody else biased. It's like we're all the same. Nobody's any different. It's not doesn't matter what subject it is. Is it biased?
Yeah, the problem I find is when they say that people are being indoctrinated into like a globe cult, but then they're just kind of running with, say, a quote unquote proof that isn't really a proof. And I would have done that at one time, but then I kind of started to think, hang on a minute, this isn't really a proof. Like I started to become aware that things like the crepuscular rays, that doesn't prove out, like when they're supposed to be like angling toward a local sun, but it has to do with perspective.
It's not much, isn't it? It's something that fits your narrative.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense in a way if you. It's like, yeah, I mean, that would fit into that narrative, but if there's another explanation for it, and then someone's gonna say, well, this also could work in this, then they're going to be like, no, this definitely proves this, and they're going to defend it to the death,
Well, it's like I was watching, I think it was 60 Minutes the other day. It was Australian one, and I'd found this village where the people walk on all fours. Have you seen it before?
People walk on all four.
Yeah.
What do you say? What was this called?
60 Minutes. Australian 60 Minutes.
No, not seen that.
Right, so they found this village and says, I've been hidden away from man, but now they've revealed it. And I was expecting this village out in the thing, but it was in Turkey and it was just a family. And there's 4 of them all walking about on all 4s. And the scientists were saying, this proves evolution, right? But as the story goes on, it was 2 cousins that got together. And the fucking family couldn't, like, walking like they were pissed. So they're walking on all 4s, and then somebody got them a Zimmer frame. But it's the fact that the scientist jumped on and says, oh, look, this is the missing link. It's not an inbred fucking default, isn't it? Like, there's something wrong.
Well, I see all these like people trying to, like, you know, like their proof of no God is the lack of proof for God. It doesn't make sense, that does it really?
Well, you can't prove anything because you
Well, I mean, you can't prove, or I mean, it really depends on like your definitions of it. Like, what is God to you? Because when you say there is no God, well, let's define what we're on about first.
Well, there's no God is the same as saying he is a God. You don't know, do you?
But you know, they have this kind of like narrative, whatever, you know, macro evolution, but you know, they'll probably say like it's something to do with, because like you get people who are like taller now or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily mean evolution.
It's probably got more to do with diet, hasn't it?
Yeah, because nowadays, like, the stuff's become a lot more readily available, hasn't it? The fast food and all that, you know, pumped with all these added calories and stuff, that, so, you know, you're getting all these growth hormones and stuff that, you know, you're getting tall. But if you look at, say, like, you know, like in the Far East and stuff like that, and they're somewhat smaller.
Yeah, but they're getting big now because dairy's getting over there in McDonald's and things. So have you seen the size of Chinese?
Yeah, but only like the people who are a bit more kind of like they're out the way of that kind of stuff, really.
It's what you made up of and what you eat. I think it's important.
Yeah, I'll just say hello to the other guests.
All right, Jamie.
All right.
Yeah.
How are you?
I don't know. I don't know why it signed me in on this. I thought I'd signed in on my own channel, but for some reason it signed me in on this one. But that looks pretty cool.
It's like there's like 3 of the same things. It's like I'm signed in there, and you're signed in there.
Jin.
Yeah.
That's weird, man. Looks like, yeah.
So this is it. It's the real getting real conversations. Good evening. Is it evening? Yeah. Good evening, all.
Yeah, it's evening now, Jin.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good evening, all.
Good morning, Jin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that? Am I talking to Flat Earth? Who's this?
Mick.
Sorry.
Mick.
Didn't catch your name, mate.
Mick.
Flat Earth, Stillwater.
Yeah, but my name's Mick.
Okay, nice to meet you, Mick. Nice
to meet.
Yeah, nice to meet your acquaintance. Yeah, Jamie, if I could ask you, yeah, when you're going to go live, could you give us more than 10 minutes? Notification time.
When did you schedule it? When did you put it up, Jamie, to schedule it? When did you?
Well, I put it up earlier.
All right, no, it's because it's funny because I got a message off your mum on Hangouts asking if we were going live tonight, and I just
people mustn't be getting the notification then.
No, I must not have clicked it. But I've been out all day. I've been at Blackpool all day, so.
Oh, you've been Blackpool?
Yeah, me and my brother went to Blackpool, yeah.
All right, nice. What have you been doing there then? Just
having a walk around, you know, no amusements or anything. We just like had a wander around on the up and down the front. been something different. It's been a really nice afternoon. It's been cool. So, yeah, it's just a bit of a spur of the moment sort of thing, It's like,
Yeah, that's right. If you're going to go live,
fancy going out for a drive while it's a nice day. Yeah, go on in. Why not?
Yeah, nice. So if you're going to go live, you've got to give us more than like 10 minutes anyway.
Well, obviously,
okay, bearing in mind there are other members who are like the other side of the flat Earth. Yeah, the other side, like Japan, for example, where I am. Is that all right, James?
Well,
yeah, like I say,
well, you're saying it's flat, so I don't know. Like,
if you're going to go live, just let us know. Yeah. 10 minutes is just a bit short notice. All right.
All right.
I'm not hearing anything.
Yeah.
Right, that's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should,
right, you were talking about God earlier. What's going on about God? What's he done now?
God.
Well, it's not. Well, I don't know. Like, I was just saying, like that. You get these like atheists and stuff, and they say, well, there's no proof for God's existence, so he mustn't exist. But I don't know. That's kind of a.
Who told you about God? Where did you get that concept from? Was it your own?
Well, I suppose it kind of just comes from religion, doesn't it, in a way? So I guess like if someone's made up, then it's like, but like you might say to make someone up, it kind of has to be based on some kind of underlying truth, isn't it? Like,
yeah, has to be some kind of underlying truth and proof. And I suppose if we're looking at whoever created this earth we're living on, being the creator, that would be some proof, because obviously something created where we're living. Man and woman did not. Only as far as human species are concerned that we replicate, yes. But initially, the beginning, who created us? This is where, it's been called God, for example. And I was born under the Islamic religion anyway. So, and I've always found it hard to believe in a God. But when you look around you, there's evidence everywhere that something created us. Do you know what I mean, guys?
Well, what do you?
Yeah.
What do you witness creating things right now? Like, because water creates everything, doesn't it?
Who created the water? Didn't create itself, did it?
Well, something has to be here always, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I look at that, the whole living entity that we live on Earth has been created by something, somebody, something. And that something is what I know. What should I say? What I believe to be.
Well, it couldn't be a man, could it? It couldn't be a man.
That's me. Go on. Sorry, Mike, you were saying?
It couldn't be a man that creates all this.
No, it couldn't be a man. This is me. I don't think it's a man, because we can't create. Man can only destroy at this point. We're only destroying. We're killing. We're killing for money. We're devaluing. We're not really creating as such at this point. Even the technology that's being made
kind
today
of a generalization, though, in a way.
Well, what can I say? I mean, what proof do we have that man can create something? What is man creating?
Well, I think when you say creation, it's
sort of
like rearranging things.
If you want to call it being a creationist, if you want to term it as a creationist, that's fine. But something created us. It didn't come by itself. That's my point.
Well, here's one for you. Does consciousness have to be here before matter?
Say that again?
Does consciousness have to exist before matter?
Consciousness needs to exist before who?
Matter, material.
Matter?
Yeah.
Well, you see, now you're going into the realms of how can I put this? When I step out of my house, okay, and look around me at nature itself, clearly evident man did not create that. Okay? Man, as we know, man and woman did not create the tree, the leaves, the sun, the moon, the flowers. We did not create that. And that's my basis for saying man did not create that. We were created by something.
But here's the
Man,
thing.
I don't think so. I don't think God is a man. I don't think God is a man. And that's my personal opinion. I don't go around the world thinking God is a man. I never have done. Never have done. So every time you hear them say, he, like I said earlier on, what's he gone and done? I don't really mean that in the sense of God is a man and he's a male man. It could be a woman for him. We don't know, you see. So it's just a figure of speech in this case. It's just a figure of speech. And as for conscience, conscience comes from the Creator. We were created, and we were created with a conscience. But at the moment, man himself, that's the man with the gun in his hand, and the governments are in power today, don't have a conscience. Okay? If they did, we wouldn't be living the life where we're being taxed, for example, and the money being used to create wars, which we pay for, and killing death and that, just to survive on this perfect earth, Mike, if you know what I mean. Okay? Carry on.
It wasn't what I was getting, though. It was what I was trying to say. If material came first, that means consciousness had to come from inanimate object. It's all of a sudden, it's like a volcano spurting lava out, and then it looks back at itself.
Well, a volcano, but hang on a second. A volcano cannot look back at itself, can it?
Well, that's what
a volcano look back at itself?
That's what I'm trying to say. So,
yeah, no. Only us. We have a conscience. We were the ones. We were supposed to be the keepers of this earth. That's why we had a conscience. But we have moved away from this thing. Go on.
Is consciousness your consciousness, my consciousness, or is it a consciousness that you experience through this body?
Well, I think consciousness is everybody has conscience. Your conscience, one being alive, and then conscious of your actions and the things you're doing, the rights and wrongs. Animals don't have that thinking. Maybe a domestic pet that you train your dog and that, but in general, we're the ones that are supposed to keep this earth in perfect harmony. That's our job, keepers of the earth for future generations. But we are not doing that. I've tried my level best not to pollute and be aware of my actions and try to do as less harm on this earth whilst I'm alive. And I've become that conscious from my childhood. I was aware of this. So my conscience has been very much fired up from my childhood, really. And then you learn right and wrong. I was born, as I said, I was born in the Islamic religion, but I went to Christian schools because in London at the time, there weren't any Muslim schools that I could go to. Still learned about right and wrong. You know what I mean? You learn this morally. So, consciousness is something that is endowed in man and woman. Right? We're born with this thing. You're born with it. You do know what right and wrong is. Unfortunately, our leaders that you guys go and vote, because I don't vote, but the people go and vote are totally devoid of this conscience, I would have to say, at this point. Look at the way we're living today. Pollution up, unemployment increasing, homelessness increasing, hunger increasing, drugging the public increase. Everything that's bad is going on. It's just out of control at this point. Or would you disagree with that?
I would disagree, yeah, because I don't think we're the most important thing on the planet. I think everything has an importance and we're all equal. Every sentient being has a consciousness, and the way it experiences, just because we think we make sense of it, doesn't make us superior. We go the long way about everything. Look what we do, just keep a roof on and eat food. We create jobs and make it hard for us.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I don't think that I'm the most important thing. I don't believe that. What I'm saying is that the earth is more important than me and every living thing on it. And it's my duty to look after this thing. I did not make it, so I mustn't destroy it. That's how I've lived my life. I've never lived my life thinking that I was superior to any animal or any living thing. Everything has its role to play, and I'm not to destroy it. I did not create. I am not to destroy what I did not create. That's been my path through my life. I've never ever thought that I was superior to anybody. So when I speak, that's what I actually mean. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned, we, the human race, have a role to play in keeping this earth in harmony. But unfortunately, like I said before, man is on a destructive path. That's what we're doing at the moment, bombing and killing. I think that's more important. I think stopping war and stopping bombings and killings and looking, trying to reduce and stop the homelessness, for me, is more important than actually finding work. What I want us to do, what I'm expecting, is humanity to unite and stop the powers that be, because that's where it's wrong. Once you can stop the powers that be, harmony and peace will come on this earth. Okay, that's what's got to happen. But at the moment, we, the people, are silent, sleeping giants at the moment, right? And you've got the 1% that are ruling with the royal families and the elites, and do you understand, who are destroying where we live and the fabric of life.
I'd say the royals and the people like that, they're mentally sick because they think they're superior to everybody else.
Thank you.
And those who actually sit there and believe that they are also mentally sick. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's right. I am not of that group. I am of the opinion and of the feeling and of the understanding that every living thing on this earth is as important as I am. And I myself do not have the right to destroy anything that I did not make. That would mean even driving my car, which pollutes. Now, I'm a believer that we should be using hemp and bioethanol, which it grows freely. It's when you use those kind of plant-based fuels, the cleanest you can use, better than batteries. But we are forced at this point, at the moment, to use this crude oil, which is a carcinogenic pollution. Hence, cancers are on the increase and allergies on the increase. Then you have chemical companies that are forcing us to use their plastics, when again, everything that we're using could be made from hemp. And again, when you use hemp, it's a clean product. It's biodegradable. Now, these are the things that should be happening. Unfortunately, as I've said, the population's not educated on this level at the moment, and we're not able to unite and take the argument to government. Why are you forcing us to use crude oil and then you increase the taxes, congestion charge, pollution charge? You understand what I'm saying? They're just taxing us to death at this point.
Here's the problem. You don't recognise the government as having any authority over you. You can't go to the government to sort anything out. You know what I mean?
Well, at the moment, the thing is, though, the government is controlling, in reality, when you look at your life at the moment, you pay the taxes that they do or you don't pay, but they're in the power to issue it. Now, in the Constitution, it does state that the citizens have the right and a duty to redress from the government. You have to pick up your tools, that's your gun or whatever it is, and go to and march to government and take them out, basically, legally. Legal redress. It's in there. It's in the Magna Carta. It's in the Constitution in America. It's there in most constitutions around the world, that the people have the final say, and government is supposed to be reflective of its people. But at the moment, in Britain, everyone's asleep at the moment. And that's a bit of a generalization, but I don't hear anybody talking revolution. You'll only hear me on the internet at the moment and on the in the flat earth movement. I've been around since 2015, and that's all I've said, 2015. And my main word is roll on the flat earth revolution. And people have been a bit worried about what I meant. And I've had to explain to them that look into your constitution, you have a duty to redress. And that's what I've been saying. So, that's my understanding.
Well, if you have a revolution, don't you just become the people who you're removing?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Because at the end of the day, I know there are good people out there who just want to live in peace and bring about what I'm talking about. Peaceful, harmonious, utopious living. There's loads of people out there. I've met them.
If you have a revolution, isn't by taking force, it's by actually living what you fucking preaching. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly, yeah. And I do live what I preach, by the way. I do live what I preach. That's the thing.
Well,
I have been living.
so if the government takes money, it's because they skim what everybody consuming, what they want. Just if you're not fucking wanting anything other than the roof over your head and the food in your stomach, there's nothing for them to fucking live off.
That's right. The government, you see, this is it. You're missing a point. Government is about control and slaving its population. That's the key here. They can print as much money as they like because they know we are the mugs that are going to go and pay it. They just put the bill on the children who are not yet born yet. There are children who are being born into debt. So when they get to the age of 18, or where I'm here in Japan at the moment, 20 years age, they start to pay the tax. So now they start to pay off the debt that's been created for them, which is wrong in my eyes. This is why we needed a revolution.
Well, I kind of say,
That's what I'm talking about.
if I can get the kids interested in toys and I really get them to love their toys and I want the new car, I want the new this, I want the new that, and I can threaten taking it off them, I've got control over them. If I'm one of those kids who, I don't want your fucking toys and I give you it back, I've got no control over that kid. See what I mean?
But if a child has desires, as a child, it's perfectly normal for a child to have desires. It's down to the parents to install the meaning of worth. You know, you get this if you do this. And if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I grew up in a family where my dad could not afford to buy me every toy that I wanted. And he said, sorry, son, I can't get you that. I haven't got the money. And if you haven't got the money, you can't have it. It's self-evident. Well, that's it.
Well, your toy, straight off, it's there to manipulate your mind and imagination.
Well, yeah, it's yes and no. There's bigger things than toys, to be honest. There's bigger things than toys. All that's down to is you're talking a little bit of capitalism there, but that can all be curved. Because let me tell you, if let's just say we had the revolution now and the powers of be are gone and you've got people in government which are there to represent the people, and when you start to implement things that I've mentioned, like using of hemp and that, taxes will drop. They would not increase. There would be a reversal because the things that would be made from Mother Nature is coming free. And when you're getting a free resource, you're not going to start pricing it out of the pockets of others. That would be wrong. That would be a replica of the force we've just taken out. The whole point of evolution is to go back to nature, back to simplicity, reducing the use of technology where we don't need it, especially in weapons and that.
I would agree.
Bearing in mind, there's a lot of money. If you look at the governments of the world's weapons budget and the most of money in the space budget, you stop that and the countries are rich overnight. That's the thing. That's why the revolution has to come. It's out of control.
People talk about rich and wealth, and that's the thing. Get you interested in money, like it means something. We pass on these pieces of paper about them, they mean fuck all.
Yeah, at the moment, I'm not interested in money to the point where I want to be rich. That's never been my way. I'm the man that I can tell you that I wear clothes that are 35 years old. My car is 22 years old. So I'm not the kind of guy I'm not living large as people think. No, I've always lived economically. That's how I grew up. So I'm not a waster of money or food or electric or time or money. I don't do these sort of things. Right? So it's quite easily we don't need to get into that habit. That's easy to control. It's not, the thing is, yeah, at the moment, in the real world, we're living in this real fantasy world that we're living in, because it is a fantasy. We're not living on a spinning ball, et cetera, et cetera. They are taxing the hell out of humanity and restricting humanity's movement and enslaving us under this taxation system. That's what we've got to break. Once you break that, the true story of how cheap it is to live on this earth will come clear. And that should be £0, as the earth was made perfect. Okay, it was made perfect for us to coexist with nature. Only, unfortunately, we are born into a slave system, and that's what we need to break.
Well, I see things in a simplistic way. So when you see somebody on the arse, all they're bothered about is where they're going to sleep tonight and what they're going to eat, right? That's the important things in life. You make yourself comfortable.
I do feel sorry for those kind of people who are homeless and that. And I've always done my best to give people food when I can, or my clothing that I don't want to wear anymore. sometimes I get given stuff that I'm never going to wear. I take it straight to the homeless people and give it to them. I'll just give it to them.
Well,
and if they can't wear it, they can give it to somebody whose size they will fit. They will know. They know people who can have it. Do you see what I mean? So I've always tried to do that, to give charity where I can. Always.
Sorry.
Okay, and we can all do that. We lead by example. It shouldn't cost money to live on this earth. I agree with you. It shouldn't cost money. Unfortunately, we're born into this system. So, you know, the revolution has to happen. That's how we break it. It's not going to happen if we're sitting on our asses. we can go the non-compliant way. I mean, we can go non-compliant. That's a good way. But at the end of the day, people are going to have to be paid for their labor. If whatever they do, they want to be paid for their labor in some way, somehow. So we probably will need money a little bit, but not to the tune where you need to be rich to survive and live on this earth. No, that won't be necessary, honestly.
Think of this a minute, though. Think of the way things are with your program that you mightn't realise you've got. You've got royal families, you've got court systems where they wear these cloaks and that. Now, if these people turned up, put you in just a basic room, naked, while you was naked, would you take the same notice of them? Because they haven't got a uniform on, they haven't got this. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all are. We're naked under our clothes, but for some reason, we let this shit influence you, and it should have no influence on you.
Yeah, what shit are we talking about? Because I missed your point there.
Browns, big houses, big structures. It means fuck all.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, at the moment, certain people have been lucky, let's say, or not so lucky, but they've amassed a certain amount of wealth and they've got ahead of others. You know, I'm not at the moment. If it's government officials, I'm for taking everything off them, especially if it's cost people's lives, and that's how they've amassed.
That's all they've got you because they want you to want that shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Why do you want it? Nothing. Well, I'd say let them have it all. Keep it all, but do fuck all for it. Now, if you've got a house,
that's why for me.
No one will clean it.
For me, yeah, for me, I'm for stripping them of their wealth. I am, because it cost people's lives. People have died for them to be where they are. That has to be repaid. So when you have this revolution, everything, you strip them of their wealth. Of course, it came from the taxpayer. It belongs to the people. It belongs to the people what they have. They've amassed their wealth at the hands of the many. That's wrong.
Is that wealth? Is it all these objects?
Well, that's the wealth that's what they value.
Why do you recognize that as wealth for? Wealth is a family. It's like the things that they love. That's wealth.
Well, of course it is. But unfortunately, that's being lost at the moment in the fabric of society. Most people are looking at having a sports car or a fast bike or some fancy clothing and a really nice house and et cetera, thinking that's their God, if you will, excuse the expression.
Yeah, one at a time. You keep talking over Mick, Jim.
Yeah.
I was trying to speak.
Sorry, I do apologise there.
I think that is the falsity, though. You've got to realise what the programme is. Do you know what I mean? It's the most
Well,
simple.
I'm fully aware of it. I'm 57 years old. I haven't been blind, so I'm aware. Fully aware.
What I'm trying to say is
fully aware.
It's hard to see it from your perspective if you're already programmed. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like the flat Earth thing. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I'm not programmed. I'm not programmed now. I haven't been a number of years.
If nobody's been high enough to have a look, how can we know what it is?
Well, I'm talking from my point of view at this point. I know I'm not programmed. So it's for me to try and help others to be unprogrammed, which is what I'm trying to do.
If you give yourself a label like a flat earther, you're only accepting.
At the moment, I don't mind. My name is Jin. I've got a label.
Yeah,
my name is Jin.
let him finish then. Let him finish. Go on, mate.
I was finished, actually.
He was finished, actually. You see, Lisa, give me a chance.
No, but I know, you know, it sounds like...
I was listening. I was mindful, don't worry. I was mindful of his conversation. I'm just saying that my name is Jin. I've got a label. I might be called a flat earther today. It's not the be all end all of me. That's not a problem. The fact is, I'm trying to unprogram others. It's not an easy job.
If a flat earther, how can you say it's anything else other than that? if you see what I mean, you're going to deny the evidence straight off. I'm not watching this shit. That's no good. This is no good. Before it even starts.
Well, if you're going to be somebody who's trying to unprogram some people out there, people of Earth, let's say, then there's certain things I'm going to watch to deduce what's going on. And if indeed it's not worth watching, I would say don't watch it. But if you want to watch it, it's up to you. How else do you learn? People have to learn through watching. And if some people are programmed, then it'll be people like me and maybe Lee and Jamie, maybe yourself. You go out there and you unprogram people, because that's how the revolution begins. Okay? What can you do? You've got to start somewhere. And if I'm being called a flat earther, that's not the end of Jing. I don't care about that. Don't let that, sticks and stones may break my bones, yeah, but words may never hurt, There you go, Come on. Got to get real. I'm real.
It's hard to see your own bias. It's hard to see your own bias sometimes. Unless you take the chance that you know nothing.
I don't get you.
So as you decide something, it becomes that thing, and you'll deny all the evidence that's to the contrary. You actually, this term, all the flat earthers seem to about is cognitive dissonance, and seem to suffer from themselves. And I say it, and if they don't,
yeah, there are people. Yes, there are lots of people out there with cognitive dissonance, and it takes a little while to break it, but eventually it will come. You just got to keep going and not give up. But anyway, what do you other guys think about what Mike is saying? Guys, please chime in.
Oh, no, I mean, I forgot what the fucking point was now, to be honest.
It's about your own bias. If you have to make a decision, it becomes that thing, and then you start, what do you say that?
Oh, I mean, the way that society is nowadays, it's absolutely, the way the things are going, it's crazy. It's like you say about all the pollution and the way that you should look after the earth and stuff, and all that. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we should all do our bit, shouldn't we? Stuff like that. But it's like Mick was saying, like none of us have ever been up high enough. And we're never going to be up high enough. Like the average normal person, the average Joe Blogs is never, ever going to get up high enough to actually see what's going on.
Do you ever think that this flat earth thing's being laid on? It's like, you save the lives of NASA, so they now say it's flat. Put it in this category, you lose all credit. They're aware of the badge of honour. You get paid, or it could be. Not saying you are, not saying you're not. One thing is you don't know. So, rather than speaking on the lies that's happening, people just like taking the label.
Yeah. Oh. Is that you, Jim?
I mean, Mike raises a good point, and I think I covered where I stand in his point of view. I put it as clear as I can, and that is obviously, we are indeed important, but not more important than anything else that's on this earth. No, I don't believe. Never believed in that. We are special. Yes, we are special. I've always known that from my childhood, that we're special, because you were once a baby. And you're growing up. If that isn't real magic, I don't know what is. That tells you you're special in itself. But you're part of the ecosystem, if you will. The life that's on this earth, the trees and the flowers. We need each other.
But when you look at a tree, you see the tree through your eyes and your consciousness. You see the tree. Now, the dog or the cat that's sitting next to you is seeing a totally different thing to what you're seeing. It's experiencing something else, but it's experiencing. So you can't say we more intelligent, we more this, we more that. We all just an experience.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I totally concur with what you're saying.
Tree? You know what I mean? What is the actual tree? We all just put our own bit into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally concur with what you're saying. I know that's where man is going wrong. Thinking don't get me wrong, we are special. We are special in that, in a sense that I feel lucky to have been born, but unfortunately, I've been born into a slavery system. So I'm not lucky in that sense. Hence the word revolution coming out of my mouth after 57 years of being on the earth.
It's a weird one, that slave thing, because as soon as you recognise yourself as a slave, well, you're going to have the life of a slave, aren't you? It's like, you're in a system, there's no denying that. But whether you're a slave or not is the decision what you make in your own mind, because I don't see any cuffs, I don't see anybody making you do any of these things that you've got the choice not to do. Do you know what I mean? Nobody makes you do all these things that harm yourself. It's just people with ideas. It's more sensible. There's a huge competition where they control everything. It's everybody's just convinced of their own ideas. And the greedy people, even if they know there's bad things, they'll not tell you because they want this.
Yeah. Well, it's a good point you're right, anyway.
Once I said the moon, that's on 12 people who've claimed they've been to the moon. So that's not a massive conspiracy. I'm saying nobody's ever been anywhere. If you hide that, you can just have a Earth's flat, that's all you'll see. Then they start putting curves in, because you know it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Making a lot of noise there, Jin.
Sorry, guys. You know, as you know, I'm trying to empty my bin.
You know what you're doing?
Yeah. Emptying my bin. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, so I apologise for the back noise in the background. But yeah, Mike raises a good point.
How long have you been vegan now, Jamie?
How long?
Yeah.
About, hang on, like about 5.5 months.
Did you feel a bit sickly at first?
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe I had some like I don't know, like stuff going on in my stomach or something, but it wasn't like bad. Well, not really bad.
Because some people say they feel a little bit ill when they switch over, and I'm thinking, well, it's like a junkie when they come off smack.
Yeah, I can't really tell because I was doing some like fasting and stuff, so you just don't. I didn't really tell really. I suppose, and plus it was more of a gradual transition anyway, like because I was, because I'd already gotten off the meat, and then I slowly started to cut out the dairy as well, so it kind of wasn't really that hard of a transition, really.
It's easy, isn't it? It's just a decision you make. Things hard for
Yeah,
yourself.
it's just like it's more about kind of. I felt like for a while it's like procrastination. You just kind of, probably because it's like, what am I going to do if I, stop eating all that? What am I going to eat? What is it going to be? Like nutritionally adequate? Is it going to be, like, more expensive? Is it, to just kind of think about all these things, like potential like problems, but I don't see any problems with it. I mean, people say that, when you like stuff happens in your stomach, like when you're getting off those type of foods, you kind of have to adjust.
Sorry, Jamie.
Like, yeah, that was pretty much it.
So I was thinking of this potatoes as processed food, isn't it? And so is rice.
Well, even processed. I mean, if you was like just get it out of like the plots or something, wouldn't that be all right then?
Well, you can't really eat rice, can you? Because it's a bit starchy. So it's
What about
potato.
like potatoes? Like,
You eat a couple, but you couldn't eat as many as what you could eat when you're born.
well, the thing is though, it's the sort of stuff that you'd have to like cook it for there to be any kind of like for to be a lot of calories in it really. So it wouldn't really be kind of like I feel like if something either can't be eaten raw or isn't really ideal to be eaten raw, maybe it should be kind of left out. I don't know. That's kind of what I've been kind of starting to think because, like, obviously you can't eat like beans and stuff like that. I mean, well, you could sprout them, I suppose, but
The peas you can out the pods. They're lovely, aren't they? Fresh peas.
yeah, you can eat them. That's but the thing is, though, it's like the problem is then there's all this food that's been shipped in from thousands of miles away.
Yeah, but it's
So,
like if you've got pesticides on the animals, the meat that's eaten, you're missing the bad bits, aren't you? At least some of us.
yeah, it's like I mean, you could say when there was someone on Facebook, like, saying that because he says like how the raw vegans and I mean, I'm not raw vegan, right, but like, but there was a saying that raw vegans and raw carnivores are arguing, and he says that like both of them aren't wrong, because because like when it's raw, then you're getting all the enzymes and stuff, and it's
Well, did you watch Jed where you get the lump of beef?
pardon.
You watched Jed's video where he had some raw beef.
What, Jed?
Skeptic.
No. Who?
No, Jed Skeptic.
Oh no. No, sorry, I haven't seen that.
So he says eating raw beef. So he went to the butcher's, got some high quality beef, and started eating it. He says, "Oh, that's lovely."
I mean, Jed Skeptic
right?
Media.
So he's eating this beef. But he's saying it yummy, but his eyes was telling a totally different story to what his mouth was saying. Maybe he was convincing himself, but his eyes were saying, I'm doing it, I'm getting through it. Do you know what I mean? You've never seen him at the end, and so if it was really nice, I've never seen him since just eating a piece of raw meat, saying nothing, and drinking his beer. Do you know what I mean? It's like what's really appetizing to you? A dead animal or a big pile of fruit? Smelling it.
I know you can eat raw beef, like thinly cut, like steak tartare and that. Yeah. So.
Well, the first thing the meat you're getting from a shop is how old you know this because you worked in a abattoir, didn't you?
I used to, yeah.
So how old is it by the time it gets to the table?
What do you mean by the time? Oh, right, from when it's come through the factory until it gets to the like person's cooking it.
Yeah.
Well, fucking hell. So we take it. So they come in, they slaughtered, they go in the chillers. The day after they're cut, and then they will be stored, and then they will go to the no, they won't get sent out straight away. You see,
What's this?
Like with the process of the slaughter process. So it's at least a week, Mick. At least a week.
Yeah, that's if someone does it on the same day, isn't it?
No, it's not. No, of course it ain't. No. Especially on a large process like we were doing. I mean, you're talking what 3,000, up to 3,000 pigs a day, 1,500 lambs a day, and 250 cattle a day.
Wait.
And that's Monday to Friday.
The pigs is off the menu for raw meat eating, isn't it? Because it'll tell you that parasites in it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I thought I heard like that some of these raw meaters, like that they have raw pork or something, unless like that's maybe they just had a little bit and then they just kind of like secretly didn't finish the rest of it off camera or something. Maybe I don't know. Like
No, oh no! If you eat raw pork, fucking hell.
raw pork.
Excuse me, if you eat raw pork, it's not very good for you, is it? It's gonna make you ill. It's gonna make you ill. Yeah.
Well, the meat is off the thing, so it's the meat you can catch. So let's say I'll take in a room just with what nature equipped you with, your bare hands and your teeth, right? And on here I have melons and fruit and strawberries and things I can just pick and just pop straight in my mouth. And on your side, the meat eater, the person who says it's natural, has this fucking animal, right? Every meal, there's an animal there that he has to rip into, kill, and go yummy, yummy, right? Now, for a start to be covered in blood and crap and shit, I'll just be eating it as it is. How long do you think it would be before that meat eater goes, oh, I just want to switch over to that diet? At what point
Well, I suppose if you do get like a catch or something, then you'd have like a meal for at least what? It depends how big the animal, but at least a few weeks. I mean, if that's all you're eating, I mean,
yeah, that's the reason I'm saying no shortage. You can have as much fruit as you want. You can have as much animals as that's all you can have. Now, would that even become appetizing at some point? Without fire, because that's the thing of skill that we learned. The bunny came along before the skill. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, fire's not really natural, is it? Unless it's like, I don't know. I mean, you get like forest fires and stuff. I mean, but are they even natural?
Well, lightning can start a fire, can't it? Lightning.
Well, yeah.
You know, like natural. You know, something like lightning. Well, I've seen it where it supposedly can. I suppose. You know, hit a tree. You know, it could set a tree on fire if it hits a tree. You know, but yeah, man-made. It's man-made, isn't it?
You'd be sitting around here just waiting to cook your food by lightning, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? You have to be climbing up the hill on top of something as high as you could and hold it out like by the power of Grayskull just to cook something. Then you probably get killed.
Well, there was this like thing because that Tim Sheaf was like saying he wants to go and because he was a vegan and he was doing all like the Ninja Warrior stuff and kind of proving that you can like beast it as a vegan. Whatever. I mean, like I don't even want to use these labels, but like just for sake of you know what I'm on about, but yeah, like
good. Yeah.
He sort of started doing animal products again because he wasn't feeling that great apparently, and then it's kind of gone on from there. He started adding more in, and he said how he thinks that the most vegan thing is to have you know like just like eat cow or something because you could live off of like one cow for like a few months or something like if that's all you were eating like so.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be like say as many. I mean, some people like to say about how because with all the like grain harvesting, there's a lot of collateral damage that is necessary, like little insects and rodents and things like that get caught up in the blades and stuff.
Well, I wouldn't say grain's a natural food for you.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, maybe as like a transition, but like, yeah, I mean.
Well, I've never for over a year now.
What's that? You've stopped doing grains, you say?
Yeah, don't eat any bread.
Well, you could actually have like, there's what is it? Acorn bread or something. That's not bread, is it?
I'm mostly raw vegan now, so all I have is a bit pepper, a little tiny bit of sea salt, and then I squirt half a lime over instead of vinegar, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
What's that?
Over my salad.
You have salad, yeah, to sort of make it more palatable, you mean?
Yeah, a little tiny bit of sea salt, a little bit of pepper, and some half a lime, and just squash the juice over the top instead of vinegar.
Well, maybe you would adapt to it at some point anyway, because with all this like drugs and stuff and like all these synthetic foods and stuff, our taste buds have become like overstimulated, haven't they?
Well, the other thing is your consciousness comes from liquid in what you're eating, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything
You've been-
that changes consciousness is something that you eat, isn't it? That's ingested into your body, absorbed.
Yeah.
So, well, like food itself can have an effect on your consciousness. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
yeah.
animal being full of steroids. A chicken, like it never walks anywhere, has the biggest, most massive chest on it. Well, how? It doesn't exercise, doesn't do anything. Then you eat the thing, you become enormous, and now you've got this power, and you think you're strong, and now because the other person's weaker than you, there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with you. Do you know what I mean? You're not natural.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it kind of discredits that idea that you need to have meat to be like strong and all that, because actually that meat, a lot of the stuff has been pumped with growth hormones and stuff like that. So
Yeah, bovine growth hormones. Yeah.
So it doesn't go anywhere, does it? You consume it, doing something to you as well.
so it's like they'll sort of like say, these vegans or whatever, like that they must be doing steroids or something, because how would they get so big? But the thing is, though, a lot of meat eaters are also doing steroids. So, it's like, the thing is, I don't think it's natural to get like super big like a lot of these people do.
No, you just become malignant. You can
I think if you're living, if you're living a natural life, then it is possible to get big. If you're living a life where you're working with nature, farming and foresting and just general life, you can get big. But if you're talking about the modern sportsman, well, he's probably on some kind of steroid and some kind of drug enhancement to make himself look big, which is again.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I just don't see the point in getting that big that all you can really do is like weights and stuff, and you probably can't walk very far if you're that big, and just like so.
Well, actually, you can walk very far. You got the stamina. It's whether you can sustain it when you're older. When you're younger,
it's just that when you get really
this body mass and this power, but as you get older, you gradually lose it. So it depends on
if
the
you get really
individual,
big though.
Some people are motivated because of sports, titles, trophies, trinkets.
Yeah.
That's the motivation there, yeah? Do you know
Yeah, they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
Well, you should exercise your body, though, shouldn't you? Because your mind.
Artificial world we've gone and created.
But it should be exercise for the body as well as the mind. You're always exercising your mind. You can't just concentrate on the mind alone. You have to.
Yep, absolutely correct. Absolutely. Got to educate your mind as well. Unfortunately, people in Britain today are not educating their minds or doing any exercise. Thus, your enslavement continues. Don't worry, it's all coming. There you go.
Here lies the problem, though. You get some society looking at people saying you're a big, fat, disgusting pig, but it's an addiction that's caused through an illness. You see what I mean? Yeah. It's like your judgment on them. I'm not saying your judgment, but you know what I mean? It's like, because we judge people like that, it creates not seeing what's at the heart of it. And it's like they're more bothered about jobs at McDonald's than the actual just getting rid of them in people's health. Oh, we'll lose jobs while we lose some people. We want to create jobs, that's fucking backward, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there are better jobs that could be created rather than creating and allowing businesses to poison human beings with the shit with the rubbish they make.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Poisonous food that robs you of health should always be barred.
That life though, you're like from a different generation, the same as me. So could you imagine having that life where you're born into not even being able to walk very far and not doing anything? It's like, and that's your life. You don't actually know what you're missing out on then at that point. Do you know what I mean?
Well, this is it. This is why people like me and you are going to go out there and educate people, because that's your duty as a human being. You have a duty. You have the knowledge. You pass it on. Now, if they don't want to take it on board after you've told them, that's down to them. But at least you told them. At least you've done your decent human thing of passing on the good knowledge. That's what it's. That's the test. That is the test of humanity while you are alive. You're in a system that's devaluing you. How do you put value back in yourself and the people that are with you? How? Right. That's it. It's all about word of mouth. That's what it's all about. Education. You educate the people. That's what you got to do, man. Send a message out there. Then everybody's going to come up to the same page. Gradually, but it'll get there. Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's always been about for me.
I want to get there in the end anyways.
Hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully. Good people like yourself going out there spreading the word.
It's just honesty, isn't it? You just say it the way you say it. You don't put masks over to suit your own narrative. It's just how you say it.
That's correct. Yeah, exactly. Not for selfish reasons, but for man and womankind, animal kind, and Earth. Yeah, exactly. Hurry up the revolution. Let's go.
Well, there's no revolution. What's the point of a revolution? Because by the term it just keeps coming round again, doesn't it?
Can I just say something? I've just been looking at chat on YouTube.
Yeah, go on.
And, Brenda von Ascheen, the Earth is a globe. It is not flat. Flat Earth is a religion. No, the fucking globe Earth's more like a religion.
Well, no, here's the thing I would say is saying you know what it is a religion. And that's the one you belong to.
Well, the way I see it though, Mick, is the individual person sees the Earth in their own eyes. Through their own eyes, through their own, their own interpretation. Yeah, so everyone sees it in their own interpretation. And when I found out about flat Earth, that made more fucking sense to me than being on a silly spinning ball through outer space. To be honest,
that's right.
When you start to think about it again, though, something that everybody's lying. Here's the thing: if you say this is where I've heard this one. You're going round in a circle, you don't realise you're turning in a circle.
What's wrong?
You know what I mean? So you're going round it instead of going straight ahead. But you don't realise.
Brenda wants to link. What do you think, Jamie?
No, I just think it'll just get diverted onto
that's all right.
arguing over shit.
No, we're not
I don't know.
arguing. Let them have the link. It's everybody's channel. It's the people's channel. Let them have a link.
Brendan von Ascheen. Need to send an email.
Be real.
Do you want a conversation? I'm offering. I don't know if it gets a bit.
You can only see so far. So what you're talking about is what you can't see beyond that point.
I just see it as it's in your own interpretation on what you see life as. Basically, that's the way I see it.
Exactly. So it's self-evident.
We were told. I was told it's a globe. It's a spinning ball throughout space.
That's right.
Zooming at thousands and millions of miles an hour around the sun and spinning and this, that, and the other. And when I first looked into the flat Earth, and I thought, wow, that makes more sense to me than what they were telling us. So that's the only reason I've gone into this now. That is the only reason, it's because it makes more sense to me.
That's all it ever is. It's what makes sense to you. It's when
yourself,
you start.
Exactly, Mick. Yeah, sorry to interrupt him, but it's yourself. It's, yeah.
Well, here's one for you. Did you know the Nazis thought we weren't convinced that we were living on the outside of the bomb? We thought we were living on the inside. The Nazis thought that.
It's just logical, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
that makes more sense to me. Is we say the same thing, whatever shape it is, we would say the same thing. But it's
just logical.
Well, the thing with the inside, it would mean that, when you see let's just say the celestial objects, wouldn't they appear to go upwards in the sky? And same with the things on the ground, they would appear to rise up like above your eye level.
Think of this.
Like,
think of this, right, Jamie? You've got a corridor. Now the corridor goes on for miles and miles. Beyond what you can see, it's disappeared way before you can see which way it curves. And that's what it's like when you look around. Even if you go.
That's right.
Brenda's
You
desperate
couldn't
to get
tell whether it was going round, up, or anything. You can just tell what direction it's traveling.
what is your thoughts on like because I see a lot of this stuff with like theodolites and stuff, and it seems to dip like pretty much all the time. There's like it's more close to the globe model that the predictions than a flat Earth.
It could be. It could be, but is it conclusive?
Well, it's just that with all the refraction and everything. I mean that you would only need a little bit of refraction to make it work on the globe, and then the flat Earth you need all the crazy amount of refraction.
You're always witnessing it from the observer point. So if there is refraction with this thing that's further on, how would you be able to ever tell? Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
It's like you would have to witness it from only your perspective, wouldn't you? The experiment.
Yeah.
Well, if there was a refraction from something you viewing, how would you know it was actually there in the place it was supposed to be there? Or it's like when you reflect something, it's like when you hit a pool ball and it reflects at a 45-degree angle off. How do you like that isn't happening, so it's going the other way?
What are you saying, like that this has to do with like the angles that the light is like bouncing off the object?
It could be bouncing back. Yeah, it's got to be.
And then like it, and then kind of the angle it's getting into the eyes. What's the important part?
What I'm trying to say.
Go along a strange kind of path, but it all has to do with the angle that it gets to the eye.
It's all got to do with the decision in the mind of a man.
Excuse me.
You know what I mean? That's all it ever boils down to, a decision of what something is, because you can never know what's not happening or what is happening. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know.
Well, I mean, like for instance, like you see those power lines, and it looks like they're, kind of like tapering down the curve or something.
Yeah, right. So,
but they're not going down the curve.
Because if
There's no curve to be found.
But the corridor was so long, it would look like it was going down, even if it was going up. You see what I mean?
But no, I mean, as in like, if you were to put a straight line through it, like those last ones, it's like they're exponentially, going off of that line, that straight line.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line of perspective. That's all it is.
The line of perspective, but it's like that's said to be where the line of perspective is, say, for a flat surface. But then when you see those power lines, and it's looking like they're
yeah, but you know there is not a curve there though. If you go there, you will not see or feel that curve. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's not. We know it's not happening. Been on the earth long enough. We haven't found one evidence, one shred of curvature. Have we?
It doesn't mean it doesn't exist because you can't find it, though, does it?
Don't know. That guy's sound is terrible.
Because you can't find something doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Okay, Stephen Brady's trying to get on.
Yeah.
Okay, oh yeah. Right, I can do that.
Well, I sent you. I copy and pasted the link for your mom to send him. I think he's trying to actually ring the Hangouts rather than clicking the link.
Yeah, click the link and get in that way, Stevie boy. But
Brenda,
as I was saying, we can't find any
curvature. Jin, hold on. Right, Brenda von Hassen really wants a link. But
please send the link.
If you want to have her on,
yes, of course, put her on.
It's not really.
She wants to speak. That's the very reason for this channel. That's the very reason.
Jamie, if it gets too much or if it gets too stupid,
Yeah.
Well, you just
You've always
eject them,
got the
don't you? Come
controls.
on.
Yeah.
It's okay. Put them on.
All right.
You're forgetting, this is
Yes,
the point of this is the whole reason for the channel. People will
Just I
want to
don't even
talk.
know if it might get sniped or something, like you just don't know.
All right,
Well,
we'll
if it
set a
gets
new one
sniped,
up.
like
Don't
we
worry
said
about it. Fuck
before,
it. I told
If
you
it
the other
gets
week. Don't worry
sniped,
about it. Don't worry about
don't
it.
worry about it. Yeah, we'll make another channel. We're not going to give up at the first hurdle. But gets you nowhere. Yes, let's do. You learn. Let's go now. So much button, man. Get in there. Be real. As in the title. Real
All right. Well,
people.
let's just have her on then.
Get them on.
Yeah.
Get them on. Get them on, man. Get them
Right.
on.
Right, he won't
You-
snipe. It won't snipe. I'll give you a word. That's fine.
We'll take
All right.
responsibility for the snipe. If they
Stephen's trying
snipe,
to
I'll
ring
snipe
again.
myself. There you go.
Stephen's trying to ring and not clicking the link. You have to click the link.
Send the link out.
Right. I'll just send it to
Yeah.
Stephen
Brenda.
first. I'll send it. Or
Yeah,
or
yeah,
would you
yeah.
want to send it to Brent or something?
Well, I don't know because unless sent anyone is it a he or a she? I'm sorry, I'm not being.
Yeah. Send the email to
Yeah, oh, it's a
real
she.
conversations going on at
Yeah.
gmail.com.
We need to
That's
send
it.
your email. We need
That's
to
it.
have
You
your
want to
email.
get on? You want to get on? Send your email. You're perfectly welcome to come on and get it off your chest, as they say. Yes.
Email to real conversations going on at gmail.com. We can get you on.
Get your point across. It's not the government. You do have your say on this channel. We will allow you your say on this channel.
Would you say people get, when they get emotional about something, it's because it's made up and they get attached to it? Because if they're not attached to it, there's no need to get emotional, is there?
Yeah, it's like with Santa Claus. That would be the first thing, isn't it? Like that. If someone was to tell you that Santa's not real, then you're just not going to believe him. You're going to be like, no, you're lying to me. Of course he's real. Like, but because it's like like they won't hear that anyone has to say that's going against that. Like they just want to hear the confirmations. So yeah, I agree with what you said, Nick, about like how like about the biases and stuff.
Well, if you go into an experiment and you're looking to prove your theory, then it's already setting up on a bias. You're going to interpret it to suit yourself, aren't you? All the time.
Yeah, because sometimes the agenda is to try and like because they do like a hypothesis first, like they sort of, and then they test the hypothesis, but they might be like subconsciously maybe like having a bias, like so you just don't know really, I suppose.
That's the best thing.
I mean, I want to do I've said it before. I want to do an experiment myself where I, see where the horizon kind of lines up to and stuff like that, and distant objects. Now I know you said it's not maybe reliable, but I just want to see where it goes to. See if it matches the globe calculations or flat Earth or whatever, or concave Earth or something, like geometrically or whatever. I mean,
I'll give you an experiment that I think might work, but it would take a lot of hose pipe. So, do you know water finds its level, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
Well, that's the mantra that people keep pushing at. Well, I mean, yeah, it finds its level, but
you don't need to do
like,
this at sea. This is the point. You don't need to do this at sea. You just need a long enough straight.
That's right.
So all you do is
Agreed.
hose from one box to another full of water, and then you put a pole in each box of water with a little hole in it at a certain height that's exact. So then you've got the water that's level, then you've got the poles at all the same height. Then you shine a little light through the last hole. If it lines up and the other one in the centre hole doesn't knock it off and you can see that light, it means it's level. If you can't see it, it means it's curving. because you can do it so precisely, because there's not going to be wind, there's not going to be the books. It would take time to settle, but there's no reason why that wouldn't work.
So what you say, it's going to be it's going to be isolated from the atmospheric conditions that vary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But how would you know that the pipe is level, though?
It doesn't have to be, because the water just has to be high enough because there's a pressure.
Oh.
There's equilibrium caused. So
I get what you're saying. Like it's like you see the other end of it. So it's like if it's level around the curve, then you're not going to see the end. But if it's level, it's flat. But you're going to see. But if it's level, it's concave, then you're not going to see the end either, would you? I don't know.
Well, you would have to lift the centre pole up if it was concave. If it was curved, you would have to pull it down.
Yeah, because there'd be a sort of like chord, wouldn't there? Like
like anything you
one end and the other.
You need 3 points. You make sure you tip across the whole three. You can see all three. So if you can see all three, then it should be level.
How much do you reckon it would cost to do that? Stephen.
Hello, Stephen Bradley or Brady. Sorry.
All right, lads.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
You figured it out eventually, Stephen.
Oh dear, figured it out.
Yeah.
Well done.
So how long would you think it would need to be then, the pipe, in order to for it to be accurate enough?
You have to do the calculation. So it's just enough to obscure the view of the light, wouldn't you? If you use
so like if you're looking through something that's only like a few inches, then it might only have to be like a mile or so. That's what I mean.
Even a quarter of a mile, because I think even a mile's too far.
Well, a mile's like 8 inches supposedly, in it, like of declination.
But it doesn't need to be that, does it? It's different. You just need to know that there is a difference. That would be the first thing. You wouldn't go all out to prove what the curve.
I need to be going to work.
But then people will argue about angular resolution limits, though, won't they? If they can't see it.
Well, if you shine a little laser, one of them cheap lasers through a tube, you can only see it from head on. Then you run through another tube that you can only see from head on, and so on. Once it disaligns, you wouldn't see it, would you? Because it's focused light.
Yeah, what we're saying is like that if you can't see it, then people are like, oh, it's angular resolution limitation or whatever.
That's the bias of people, though, Jimmy. It's no matter what you do. Ages ago, it doesn't matter what you do. You can prove it out of fucking doubt. Somebody will chuck it down.
That's right. Cognitive dissonance, as you said earlier. That's what that is. Cognitive dissonance. Pseudoscience dogma. That's what that is.
So I question like whether these like flat earthers or concave earthers would actually kind of or globe earthers, or would any of it like be honest with themselves about what they see as to what it kind of like would be evidence for?
The answer to that question is the flat earthers would be honest, in my opinion, but the globe earthers and convex earthers would not be. That's the problem.
But you might not be being honest that flat earthers will be honest.
I believe that would be honest, because we haven't got anything to hide.
No, but
we are the minority here.
You go away like you know the minds of everybody. You only know.
I know. I don't know the minds. I did say in my opinion.
Yeah.
I did say in my opinion. It's not fact, is it?
This is in my opinion.
Hang on a second. I'm talking from the experiences that I've had to date dealing with globe earthers and concavers. That's the thing. And we are living in a world of deceit through NASA. So that's where I base my that's my knowledge.
Not only NASA. Everybody. Because I got myself a P900. I went to the beach. Right. The first thing I noticed is the thing I could see with my eye quite clearly, I could not see through the fucking screen. Only until I zoomed in. So when I see them flat earth videos and there was nothing on the horizon, he zoomed in. That's false. He zoomed into what he can see with his eye first, then show what it does. So I've seen a bias, and that just fucking it just showed me straight away the bias is across the whole board, not just
Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Look, hang on a second. Do you not agree that when you see, with your naked eye, you see a ship disappear, and where you can't see it anymore, and then you use your P900 and you can zoom it in on the flat on the sea? Yes or no?
Yeah.
I've done that myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. That's where I'm coming from.
Does it disappear eventually? Does it disappear eventually? And when people are telling that story, are they doing it, what he's looking at it with the eye, or were they looking through it on another ship? Were they looking through it on another ship with the telescope?
Yeah. The main point there, though, is it's proving that we can see long distances. That's the proof that we can see long distances, which shouldn't be happening if we factor in the curvature formula. Okay, we should not really be seeing these
Well,
things.
I've done the Cadigoo one, and it was like
Cadigoo, yeah, go on.
Like 160 miles away, but that was probably when I had somewhat of a bias, like that, because I can see it, therefore it must be flat. But it's
no, you can see
probably
it. Hang on, the thing is, you
subconsciously
could
ignoring the fact that I couldn't see the whole thing, like I was missing 7,000 foot of it.
Ah, well, you can see great
so
distances.
So where is the 7,000 foot of it gone then?
Well, I don't know. I'll have to go. I'll have to come and do that.
Well, I've already shown it on. I think it was on the private chat or whatever. But
I would have to see it for myself with my own eyes and do my own measurements there to say something in that case. Okay? But I'm not coming from bias. I just want the truth to be known. That's it.
If you've seen it and it does exactly what Jamie said, would it change your mind? Or have you got if it does exactly what Jamie says it does, would it change your mind when you've seen it for yourself?
It wouldn't change my mind to the point where the Earth is spherical, because you know what, you're missing the point here. Where is the video of this spherical Earth or the real pictures that we haven't got? When we have these things, that's when I'm going to believe it for sure. Yeah. At the moment, everything that I've checked is that we're level.
Well,
but we're told, hang on a minute, you're talking over me. Hang on a second. We are told that we're living on a spherical ball, yet we haven't been given a photograph of a video. I'm 57 years old. Something is wrong. Something is amiss. I yield the floor.
I agree. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't mean the Earth's flat. It just means they haven't got up high enough to see what it is.
Well, to me, I would take the Sherlock Holmes formula, and that is, when you've removed the impossible globe, whatever's left, no matter how improbable it might be, has to be the truth. And what I see is level. I see level plane everywhere. On an aeroplane, even our avatars have got level sky there. So, you know, there's too much for the flat Earth.
Right.
Way too much. Too much.
Hang on. So that's like saying if I can only see to the horizon, only to the horizon exists.
Yeah, it exists, all right. It's level. Look at those cloud formations.
That's not what you level there. What you see is flat, so therefore it's flat. Is the same as saying
it's flat. Look, it's flat. Yeah, definitely level. It's level.
It doesn't mean it's flat because it looks flat.
Not spherical. It's not spherical. I have not seen a spherical surface. Of course, it's flat. That's what I'm going to take until I'm proved differently. It has to be proven. It hasn't been proven yet. 57 years old now.
Neither is flat. Flat hasn't been proven neither.
It's flat. It's flat. It's level. It's level. It's level. If you don't like the word flat, it's level.
What you see is level. I agree. What you see is level, but it does not.
Of course, I'm going to take that stance. Of course, I'm going to take it.
Yes, level. It's flat.
It's level, isn't it? It's level. It's level, man. Come on. This is where it's semantics now. We're dealing with semantics now.
Well, hang on.
Level.
In engineering, right? There's tolerance. No such thing as perfect. So you tell me where level lies. Tell me the levelest thing you know, and at what point can I look closer and closer? Will it stay level?
I'm not going to entertain that. It's level. That's where we are at this point. It is level. Full stop. We don't experience it.
The horizon, because I couldn't see the horizon.
When we fly in an aeroplane, Mike, when we're in aircraft, we don't feel the curvature when we fly from England to Australia. People are not upside down.
Hang on a minute. That's the argument of a 5-year-old. Because
but it's not of a 5-year-old. No, I'm sorry.
Well,
I have spoken to New Zealand, and I'm speaking to New Zealanders, Australians, and they are not upside down. So it's not.
Upside down.
The argument is coming from the heliocentric model, because it doesn't make any sense, does it?
Upside down relative to what on a ball?
Yeah,
How
or from
can
my
you-
position,
What?
upside down
It's gonna
from
be
my
top-
position, England, from Japan, for example, or
Yeah.
Africa, perpendicular.
Well,
You know,
Other side does not mean upside down.
if you want to go down that route, good luck to you. Okay, I go down my route, and
So
my route is
hang
I see
on,
level plane.
when-
It's level. There is no
when the world
curvature.
is weird.
I know we're not on a spinning ball, and I'm more of a believer that not believer. I know that the Earth is level and flat. I know this. That's
Look,
what I
I'm
know.
not saying for 1 minute. I'm not saying for 1 minute we're on a spinning ball, but what I'm on about the concept. These stupid arguments. You're on top of something.
Yes, a stupid argument. I agree.
The ball.
I
How
agree.
can
It's
you-
a stupid argument. I agree.
You wouldn't
But
feel
at
it.
the end of the day, I know what I know. That's it. Whatever you need to do to convince yourself, go ahead. That's what I'm saying. That's up to you. I'm
Convince
already
me
convinced.
what that I don't know. I already know I don't know. There's nothing to
I don't
convince.
need anyone to convince me where I am. I already know that. That's why I walk sure-footedly now. I know
Right.
where I am at this point.
Can I just put it this way? I know what you see. You see the same as me. You see it flat. Now, I don't know what belies beyond what I can see. How do you know? Tell me
I know.
that.
I know.
Oh no, you're seeing it. You're seeing it, but tell me how you know.
Oh, I know because I've seen it with my own eyes where I've been. The places I've been to
I started off with that. I started off seeing you.
I'm going by my experiences, of course. My experiences, my senses, my eyes. That's what I'm going with. I
What
don't
would
care what anybody else says.
going round the ball
I know
and
where I am.
upside
If you
down?
don't know where you are and you need to do certain experiments, go and take your measurements, and then you indeed find that at its level. Thank you very much. You're just proving what I already knew. So go ahead.
Tell me the measurements.
I know we're not spinning.
Tell me the measurements. Tell me the measurements. Tell me the measurements.
I know where I am. I don't need to waste time there. I believed in the heliocentric model for years. Turns out that I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong there. The answers were clear and present in my eyesight all the time, and I missed it. The evidence was clear to be seen. So that's that. I'm a man who can and will. Thank you.
Well, here's the thing: if you was on a ball, you would see it flat anyways. So the fact that they show you a curve is a bit fucking weird. We're people more concentrate on that it's flat, and then putting the curve there for some other reason. But you would see it flat even on a fucking ball because you're always on the top.
Sorry, I didn't catch your last outburst. Sorry.
Not an outburst. I'm talking to you. If you think it's an outburst, I'll not bother because it means nothing to me.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I can't hear you. That's what I'm saying. You're coming over just a little bit low anyway, your volume. If I raise my voice, it's because that's the way I speak, so you can clearly hear what I'm saying. Because I know there are sound issues, you see. I just can't hear you clearly.
Well, I would say this. On a ball that you're always on the top of, you would never see a curve, right? Now, the fact that even if they go up 200 miles,
Sorry, say it again. If you're on top of the ball,
you would never see a curve.
you would see a curve. You would see a curve
Everything's
on the
so
horizon.
you'd
You'd see a curve from the ocean. You'd see it from the ocean. You'd see it.
Let me ask you this. So stop repeating and just let us ask you the question.
I will always repeat because that's who I am. I'm going to keep repeating because I know the truth, yeah? Don't get me wrong. They repeat it to us. We've been on a ball. So I'm doing reverse psychology.
You do it to me. I'm only asking you a question. Because I was in the same policies, I would say. If I'm standing out to sea and I'm on a ball, right?
Yeah.
Balls away from us. Now, you saying it should be curved. Now, I can only have a ball that's curved if I'm looking at it in front of us, right? Now, if I'm honest,
it's a well-known fact that if you can picture yourself on a ball, like a basketball, the curvature is there. You will notice a ball, no doubt about it. And bearing in mind, hang on a second, as I keep repeating myself, we do not have a real picture or a video to go by.
I agree with that. I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with any of that at all. What I'm saying is, you would not see a fucking curve on a ball that's only.
Excuse me, do mind the language whilst you're on air as well, please.
All right, sorry. You wouldn't see a curve on the ball if you was exactly on the top of it, of this size.
If you're on top of the ball, if you're on top of a ball, you will notice curvature 360 degrees. Fact.
Okay.
A fact.
Right. Let me ask you this question. If you look at the high point of the curve, it slopes down. Now, as I turn my head, what's it sloping down to?
You will see curvature 360 degrees around you when you
So,
stand on a ball. When you
so
stand
as I look out in front of us,
you keep jumping in. When you stand on a ball, you will 100% see curvature. That's it. You will.
okay.
Disagree for now. That's all.
So I'm asking where I would see. I'm trying to get this.
Ask the question. Right,
I'm trying to get it visually in my head. So, right, I'm stood on the ball. I'm looking at the high point of the curve right now, right in front of us, and it slopes down to the sides. Now, as I turn left, right, quarter of that distance, what do I see? Do I see a slant that goes highest to my right and dissipates all the way down to my left? And as I turn around again, so I'm 180 degrees, and we're just looking down at something. What's it sloping down to in the center of the ball?
Well, it's sloping down to the curvature of the so-called earth that we cannot find at this
If I
point.
ball holding in front of us, I see a curve because I can see the ends of it. If I can never see the ends of it, I can never see a curve. It just looks flat.
You'd see curvature. You wouldn't see the end of it because it would go beyond the scope of your vision. But it's there. You'd have to pan around to, you'd see curvature. I don't know where you're going with this one, but
You wouldn't see curvature.
That's my point. If you're on the ocean, just sit on the ocean and you would see it, because like Jamie said, or whatever, or you said yourself, sorry, water always finds its level. So you'd find it. When you're on the sea, you'd notice curvature. It's just there. It's too obvious that it's not there. It can't be found. And we can see over great distances. This is happening and there's no curvature. So, like I said, Sherlock Holmes formula, when you've removed it, what's impossible, whatever's left, no matter how improbable it might seem, has to be the truth. That's what I'm going with. With the experience, I haven't seen anything go at all.
You can make quotes like that all the time. It doesn't make any difference to what you explain.
Well, it doesn't make a difference to you, and it makes a difference to me. And that's what's important here at the end of the day. So that's up to you. Like I said, it's up to you. You need more convincing. Go ahead. Go get your go bring it forth. Bring it forth.
I was convinced until I realised.
Please, Mike, bring it to us and we'll have a look at it. Bring it to me and I'll have a look at it. I don't mind. I'm already convinced, so I don't need that much convincing.
Well, are you one of them who says there's no such thing as gravity? Are you one of them?
That's correct. Gravity does not exist because it is a theory. It will always be a theory. It's never been proven. The gravity was created to keep the water on the spinning ball. So
I'm not saying. Hey, hang on a minute. I'm not saying mass causes gravity, but I'm saying there is a force there. Because I'll ask you this. You said,
right, oh, hold on, one at a time.
Yeah,
you say it's because of buoyancy and density, isn't it? The things around it makes it fall. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. As far as I know it, to my experience, I have a helium balloon in my classroom. It's been there since February. Hasn't come down yet, but yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Inside the vomit comet, all those molecules, there's no wind blowing about. Why do the things float when they take that curve?
First of all, I'm not a believer that you can find zero gravity in space, because there are a number of experiments proving that wouldn't happen. Okay. As for the vomit comet, it's the law of nature, isn't it? Because when you actually spit out water from your mouth, it forms globules, and the smallest ones form small spheres. So it's just the law of nature.
Okay, I'll ask you this. This law of nature.
Yeah.
You've got the law of buoyancy, right? Buoyancy and density. Now, if I go on that vomit comet and I put a vice anvil next to us and a sheet of paper, and everything else, it all floats the same. Now, why isn't the vice staying on the floor longer than what the piece of paper does?
Let me tell you something, yeah? Let me tell you something. In normal conditions, if I took you up into an aeroplane and threw you out the window, you're just going to drop straight down. You're not going to be floating. And if I threw water out, it would just float and then drop down. It would just drop down in its
Because
volume.
the smaller parts of it go slower because there's less effect on the smaller bits than these one that's
There you go.
clumped together.
There you go.
Right,
There you go.
so the effect is the effect of gravity that pulls it down.
Well, gravity, no, gravity does not exist whatsoever. Okay? It's never been proven. It's
Is there a force called? All right then. Is there a force called G?
Mike,
G
you
force?
prove it. You prove it. It's
All
never
right
been
then.
proven, but you prove it. Go ahead. Prove it.
Is there a thing called G force?
G-force is another expression they use to measure a force that is acting upon the human body through acceleration. That's what that
Because
G-force is.
because you can see the cause of it. Because you can see the cause of it.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you. It's a word they use to describe, as I said, the force that hits you through acceleration, but they use that word to substantiate gravity some more. That's all that's going on now. Okay?
If that force is,
Mike, you've got to prove gravity for me. Prove it's
I'm not asking. I'm not even prove it. I'm asking you to ask you a few questions that I asked myself. That's all. So let me say this.
Yeah, I'm glad you're asking, but you know where I am on that. You know where I am on that,
Yeah.
for sure.
I'll ask you this.
I am on that for sure. And that is gravity is a theory. It will always remain a theory. It's never been proven. No one's been able to prove it. It doesn't exist.
Brenda, you're not muted.
The balloon rising is the alarm bell, letting you know, look, I'm going up. There's no gravity, mate. There we are. And not only that, there are experiments that have been done in a vacuum to prove that you would not suddenly float in space in zero gravity. It's another hope.
How can you do that in a fucking vacuum?
Oh, hold on, Jin and Mick. I'm sorry, Brenda's just has to be unmuted, but she's not muted. So whether Brenda's got a proper speaker or like headphones or anything, you need to unmute yourself. We haven't muted you. No one's muted you.
No one's muted you, Brenda.
No,
Yeah.
no one's muted you.
We don't play those games on this channel. We welcome everybody to speak and say whatever they like. We don't play any silly games. We're not allowed to do that. That would be very rude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She doesn't seem to be on though, Lee.
No, Brenda's on. Brenda's on the panel.
Oh right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jamie's left then, has he? No,
No.
Jamie's there. Who's left then? Oh,
No one.
Stevie's left. Okay.
Stephen's left. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, Brenda. Please, if you've got the chance to speak, do speak, because it would be nice to hear your voice.
No one's muted you, Brenda. So.
Yeah. If you're a Glober, I feel sorry for you. Sorry. I'm just kidding.
No, it's real conversations, Jin. Come on, don't forget real conversation. So we're not labeling anyone. Yeah.
No way.
No labels. No, we're all equals.
We're all equal here. Some are more equal than others in Animal Farm, though.
Yeah.
Drop out and drop back in again, mate. That fixes it.
Yeah, that might work.
Welcome back. Please, somebody help Brenda get on, because she can't be heard, apparently.
No, we've not muted anyone. We don't, we wouldn't do that.
We
wouldn't do that unless they're talking shit. I wouldn't do a Dell on anyone, unless they're talking absolute crap. You're talking fucking shit.
You've got to watch the language, that's all, because we are live.
Oh, sorry, Jim. Wait a minute. Oh, it's nearly 9 o'clock. We're nearly after the watershed, so we'll be all right.
No, I still can't hear you.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, this could be.
That's it. You're unmuted now, Brenda. You muted yourself and unmuted yourself, so you should be able to speak.
Yeah, you should be able to speak. We can't hear you. We can't hear you at this point.
No, that's a shame.
Yeah, she's on there. What's going on? Something's wrong with your setup, surely.
Are you on a phone or are you on a laptop? You might need headphones, maybe with a.
Might be a good idea to exit the channel and come back in again. Sometimes that works.
Just done that. That's just happened.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Still not coming through. Well, sorry, I don't know what's going on now. That's a real shame.
No, I can't work that out. That's a strange one.
Because normally things like that just work. Usually they just work. If you've got your things connected up correctly, it should just work. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like because I'm on my phone. Even when I was on my laptop, that had a speaker on it, like a microphone. So you should be able to. Yeah. I can't work that out. It's happened to people before though, Jin, where they haven't been able to speak. You know, it hasn't the sound hasn't come through. So I'm not sure what that problem is.
That is a pity, that is.
Yeah.
Can Jamie check his connections and that, make sure that she's actually got
No, Jamie's on mute at the minute. I think Jamie's just listening and
still here.
Oh. Yeah, can you check?
Yeah.
Can you check that
What?
person, Brenda,
she
is
just dropped
connected
out
and
again.
volume up and whatever? See if we've invited her in.
See, I don't know what other things you can do.
Yeah, I heard that there are some controls where volume control can be used in the Hangouts. You can control each one's volume. There is such a facility. So let's check that, if possible. Because that is a pity. I would love to hear what she had to say. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, can you check that, please?
Check what?
Check on your panel or your controls. Do you have a facility whereby you can control each person's volume output?
Oh well, she's not in at the moment, so but I could do that.
Yeah. It's like your mum's just put. Jamie, sorry, your mum's just put. She needs to locate mute button, top left or right of screen. Knock it off mute to start talking.
Right, knock it off mute.
Stephen has gone back. Stephen,
yeah, but it's not on mute. It would say that it's on mute.
No, we aren't muted, so it's not one of us.
But you can unmute yourself if you get muted anyway.
Yeah, if you're muted, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Fuck.
So it's something that's on Brenda's end.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, we got it. Cool.
Yay.
Right, I'm going to mute now.
Finally. I had to unplug it from the back of the computer.
Cool.
So what seems to be the problem?
Right, Brenda, can you introduce yourself and where you're from?
My name is Brenda. I'm from the United States, and I'm a ball earther.
Okay.
Whereabouts? Jim. Whereabouts are you from in the US, Brenda?
Minnesota.
Cool. Do you know Joshua Swift?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, that's a shame. Authentic Intent. Have a look on YouTube. Authentic Intent.
Oh, is he the creepy dude?
The flat earther that sits in the lake at the lakeside, and
he's a creepy dude. He's a creepy.
Why is he a creepy dude?
Because he walks up to children. He goes up to children, which is kind of creepy.
It's not creepy. No, that's not.
Yeah,
creepy.
it kind of is.
That's in your opinion, yeah.
Yeah, it's in my opinion.
Yeah, you sound a bit creepy as well, to be honest. I've only held you for 5 minutes and you're sounding creepy already.
So, gravity is a fact. It is a real, objective, observable fact. The Earth is a globe. It's an objective, observable fact.
Okay.
This is objective reality.
Not in my book, it isn't.
Objective.
The universe doesn't care about your feelings, honey.
Yeah, the universe doesn't care about your feelings as well, and you can't bring in pseudoscience to the table. Pseudoscience doesn't prove the spherical Earth. We don't have any evidence of what your pseudoscience says. We have
we do. Sure we do.
No, we do not. No,
sure we
do not.
Yes, we do.
Come from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, we do. We have photographs.
We don't have any photographs.
Yes, we do.
See, here we go. We've got a deluded individual here. NASA tells us that it's all composites, But here we have somebody purporting to have a real photograph.
They're not from NASA.
Please share it with us, will you?
Oh, sure. The Himawari satellite is from
no,
Japan.
That's a lie, the Himawari. It's been debunked
No, it's not.
ago.
Prove it.
I'm in Japan.
Prove it's a lie.
I'm in Japan, by the way, so I know. No.
Prove it's a lie. Prove it's a lie.
Brenda.
Prove it. Prove it.
Brenda. She lives in Japan.
Thank you.
So what?
20 years. 20 years now.
Prove that it's a lie.
I'm speaking you from Japan now. The Himawari is a lie.
How do you know?
It's a hoax.
How do you know? How do you know?
No, it doesn't exist. It does not exist.
How do you know?
We have no picture of this thing going up.
How do you know?
I know.
How do you know?
I do know. That's what I'm saying.
No, you don't.
It exists.
Because it has photographs. It's real.
Oh, photographs. That are
Yes.
not real. CGI.
Yes, photographs are real. What are you talking about?
They are CGI images. That's not
No,
real.
they're not.
They are.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
You can go on forever like this. Yes,
Yeah.
they are. Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, you have to have
Yes, they
actual
are.
proof and
Yes, they are.
evidence, and you don't.
Yes, they are. Yes,
No,
they
they're
are.
not.
CGI.
Well,
No, they're not. They're real.
They're CGI, mate.
No, they're not.
You're delusional.
No,
You're
no, I'm
delusional.
not.
You ain't got a clue what's going on around you.
Yes, I
You're
do.
delusional.
I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, you're delusional.
Well, you
Delusional
just
like
saying
that.
things doesn't make them true.
No, it's
Just
okay.
saying
It's
things doesn't
delusional.
make them true.
I know it's true. You don't know.
No,
it's
you
true.
don't. Prove
That's
it.
the problem. You don't
Prove
know
it.
it's true. It's the
Prove
reason
it.
You prove it. You prove
No.
it. I already know. I already
Yes.
know it's true.
The proof is the photograph.
Bring it forward.
The
If it
proof is
bring
the
it forward,
photograph.
please bring your evidence
It's
to
not a
the
photo.
table.
It's not a photo, though, Brenda.
The proof is the photograph.
It's not a photo. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's bullshit. That's not a
Yes,
photo.
it is.
Fuck off.
Yes,
no.
it is.
No chance.
CGI.
Yes, it
The
is.
CGI.
It is a photograph.
No.
There's no photographs.
Yes,
I'm
it
sorry.
is. It's a photograph.
I'm afraid you're wrong there, mister.
Yes, it is. It's a photograph.
Not a photograph at all.
Yes, it is.
Please bring it and share it with us now, please.
No, you just
Yeah,
look it
share
up.
with
You
us.
know what
Don't
I'm
bring the
talking
words.
about.
Don't bring word salad. Bring me the image, please.
Well, you know so much about it. You can find it on the internet.
Please bring it.
Yeah. Go
Grab
ahead.
it.
Just search. Just do the Google search for the Himawari.
No, I don't
There,
have to.
there you go.
I've seen
I'm
it.
living in Japan, so I already know.
No, you don't.
I'm living
You don't
in Japan,
know.
so I know. Thank you
You
very
saying
much.
you know doesn't mean you
I
know.
do know. That's it.
No,
Just
you
like
don't.
said you know. You said you know. Bring me the pictures, I said.
I
I've
do.
already seen those.
Yeah. The
Seen those
photograph.
images. They're CGI. I know that.
No, you don't.
Exist. Satellites don't exist, so we know that.
How do you know? Prove
Please
it.
Bring it up. Bring it. Bring it to me.
Prove it.
Just bring it to me. That's all you got to
Prove
do.
it.
Bring it. You're the man.
Prove it.
You're the man who knows. You know everything.
No.
Please bring it.
You're the one.
You're making the claims. You're
The
claims.
one. No, you are. You're claiming
You're
that
making
it's
the claims.
CGI.
Please
Prove
Bring
it.
it forth. That's all you got to do.
No,
Thank you very
you're claiming
No,
that the
you're
evidence.
You're actually making the claims. Please
No,
bring
I'm
me the
not.
pictures.
No,
Bring me
I'm
the
not.
If gravity is a fact and the Himawari
Yeah.
showing us pictures of Earth, the images they show us of Earth are 4 times too small. That's the other thing.
No, they're not.
They're 4 times
Prove
too
it.
small.
Prove it.
I don't have to prove it. I've seen the images.
Yes, you do.
I've seen the images. I've seen.
You're
the images.
making the claim. You have to prove the
Why
claim.
don't you bring me the pictures? Bring us the pictures. We've invited you on. Please bring
Yeah.
the evidence.
Have they not
Just,
seen them?
just Google it. Just
Please
Google
bring it up.
Himawari.
You Google it. You Google it. You're the one
No.
making the claim. Google. Thank you.
We all have the internet. Go ahead and do a
You
Google
Googled
search
it. I
for the
don't need
Himawari.
convincing. I don't need convincing. You trying to convince me? Bring what you've got.
You don't
I
need convincing?
I don't need convincing, man.
What do you mean you don't
I
need
do not
convincing?
need to be convinced.
You
No, I
just
don't.
deny. You
I
just
don't- I'm not
deny
in denial.
everything.
I'm not in
Yes, you
denial.
do.
I'm not in denial at all.
Yes, you do. That's
Not
all
at
you
all.
do.
I'm not in denial.
That's all you've done is deny.
I haven't denied anything. No one's
Yes,
brought
you
me any
have.
proof. No one's
You've
brought me
denied
any
everything I've said.
proof. I haven't denied anything you said.
Yes, you
All I
have.
said to you, I've
That's
given
all
the
you do is
opportunity-
deny.
I've given you the opportunity to prove your case. You haven't proved it yet. You're just talking
I-
about my denial. Bring your proof. I'm not.
I have the proof. It's the
Please bring it to
Himawari.
the table. Bring it to the table.
Just do a Google
Images.
search.
Bring us the images so that we can scrutinize it. Go ahead. You're the man with the knowledge. Go ahead. What are you doing? Just stating a fact. It's not fact. See? Told you, come on this channel, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Right, there we are.
I don't have to satisfy your demands. I have the evidence. I have evidence. Your denial doesn't disprove my evidence.
I want to see the truth, and it's come from the horse's mouth. So, you know, I don't even have to worry. It's come from the horse's mouth. So, when you're ready, bring it forward.
Bring what?
When you're ready to bring us something that we can get our teeth into, please do so.
What?
Okay?
What do you want?
Mr. Globehead, like I said.
What do you want?
You're asking a foolish question because...
What do you want?
Himawari is fake, so please bring it and present it. Screen share, present.
Present what? Present what?
Well, your satellite picture of the Himawari and the actual images from said
of what?
Himawari.
I'm back on
Images
again.
of what?
Of the Earth. Go bring it. And you're going to bring it up, please, so we can scrutinize it.
What kind of evidence do you want?
For me, you've said you've got pictures of the Himawari. Let's see that. You've stated that you've got pictures of Earth from Himawari. Let's see that.
Yeah, what do you want this? You'll just deny it.
Bring it forward, I said to you.
But you'll just deny it. That's all you'll do, just deny it.
Look at it. You see what I mean? Can you be honest? Bring it forward. Bring it forward, man. Bring it forward.
Bring what forward?
What I've asked you to bring forward.
What?
What? I've asked you more than once to bring forward pictures and evidence of the Himawari satellites and the
You want the satellites, or do you want the? What do you want?
Both. I want both. That's it. Both, please. There we are.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Well, are you sharing this? Let's have a look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Is that what you're showing?
Well, that's what you wanted. You asked. You asked.
Look at that. That is, and that's what you call real, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So NASA is unable to give us a picture close.
Hang on, you.
That's not NASA. Himawari is Japan.
I'm saying NASA can't do it, but then the Japanese can do it. Oh, fantastic.
What's wrong with this image? You asked for
CGI,
image. What's wrong with
it? It's clearly CGI.
No, it's not.
NASA's image.
Prove that it's CGI.
It's
Prove
CGI.
it. No, it's not.
Proving itself. I'm looking
No,
at
it's
it.
not. What is your evidence? What is your evidence?
CGI image.
What is your evidence? What is your evidence that it's CGI?
CGI, clearly.
Prove it. Prove it.
It's there. There it is.
Prove it.
It's proving itself.
No, it's not.
It's self-evident.
No, it isn't.
If you can't see that, I'll pity you.
That's not
You've got to
proof.
get your eyes tested.
That's not proof.
It's proof. That's it.
No, it's not. Denial isn't proof. You're just denying. Denial isn't proof.
That is definitely CGI. Thank you.
Denial is not proof.
It's not a denial.
Prove that it's CGI. Prove it.
CGI. There you go. CGI.
Prove it.
Why is it important? What's so important?
Prove it. Prove it's CGI.
CGI image, sir. It's CGI.
Prove it. Prove it.
It's CGI.
Prove it.
There you are. It's proving itself.
No, it's not.
It's proving itself that it's CGI. You can see it clearly.
No, it
It's a
isn't.
CGI image. There you go.
You're just claiming that it is. That's
I'm
not
not
an
claiming
argument,
at all.
and